What's up, tech nerds? Lottie here again. So, we're just gonna continue straight up. So for those who don't know, we're still working on the 105. Oh, I've Christmased it up. I'll show you that real quick. It's got his little red nose, happy face, little antlers, Christmas hat on it, bit of tinsel, looking very flash. So yes, I've put my little touches on it. Anyway, back to the work. So, I have started cleaning all of these items. I've also started wire wheeling. Now, some concerning bits. This is actually really good. I'm gonna have to do the inside, but yeah, really good. This bit really doesn't matter too much. It's more or less just a spacer. But while cleaning this up, you'll notice very, gotten rid of a lot of the paint. This is concerning. This was barely touching it, as in I've just touched it with the wire wheel, and that paint is coming straight off. It almost feels soft in places, which makes me wonder if they didn't use any hardener in the paint, which would be concerning, because of course, we don't want to have to sandblast the whole lot if we can avoid it. It's a rather large, costly process to go through all that. Like, it feels good in some places. I can't feel the paint coming off or anything. But just the way that this has so far behaved in the wire wheel, and again, very lightly, like just touching, and it's just going straight to bare metal, has me just a little concerned. I don't think it'll be an ongoing problem, but it is something I'm going to have to pay attention to. Now, this bit is going to be difficult. So what I'm going to have to do is dismantle all this. So I'm going to have to take that out, take the whole shaft out, clean it all up, make sure it works properly. And then I'm going to have to replace the ratchet system. Here it is. Here's the other bit. So this goes in like so. So I'm going to have to make a pin to go through there. That's completely rusted through, which is not very good. So you're going to have to make a pin for that. And that looks like it's just threaded in, so I might get lucky and be able to drill that out. Likewise down here, replace the thread if not it's completely rusted out. Do it again. And then there's a spring here. So you basically pivot it here, and it moves this arm, which is our little ratchet mechanism, up and down. So I'm going to have to do that, sadly. And I think that's just a bump stop, really, so I can probably just clean that up. But yeah, so we're just in the process of cleaning everything. So here's all the dirty stuff, and here is my clean pile thus far. A little bit of corrosion on here. So this is aluminium, and this was inside the bearings, so you can probably imagine how bad all the aluminium outside the bearings is going to be. I'm not looking forward to that, but it's a job that has to be done. For instance, when I sandblast this front end, how much is going to be left behind is a question yet to be answered, but we'll find out. I am getting slightly annoyed walking around this, just how much has been welded up. So even these little support legs, I'm pretty sure I showed this in the last video, but turn the light on. So they've made a weld there. It's removable, but time consuming. And there's welds down here, which are far harder to get rid of, but still quite plausible. So we're going to try and get the legs, these little support legs working, and then we're going to try and get the big legs working. So far it doesn't appear that too much of that is welded up, thankfully. Everything else though, not quite as lucky. Pretty much everything on here is welded. So these wing nuts are welded, the traverse mechanism is welded, the elevation mechanism is welded, all of these little slides have been welded, there, even along here, so you can't open them up. All of this is welded in. Just trying to find it. See, they've all been welded together, and they're actually welded into their little supports, so you can't take them off. So there is a lot to look at, and we will basically, like, I'm just going to do the hubs for now because those need to actually work for it to be transportable. Everything else is going to have to be at the whim of the owner. Alright, let's keep going, cleaning up everything. Okay, we have made progress. So, we're trying to get the hand brake key to work. Oh, first things first, I've cleaned up most of all of that, or at least the important bits, and the rest will get painted, which is really good. We're going to have to get some new springs because they're all cactus. We will get back to that. Over here, right now we've made the executive decision to leave that for the time being. Once everything's loosened up, all this has to do is just pivot enough to lift, where are we? Oh, here, to lift this. So once I loosen that up, all it's got to do is lift that up and down. That's a little ratchet. I can come back and fix that if need be, because I've taken that out, so that was just a little pin through there, so I had to drill that one out. So yeah, I can fix that, weld up a little plate over it, but the time, and rather more importantly the money that the client's going to have to pay for that, I'll let them make the final call on that one. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to make it functional, but yeah, they'll have to decide whether or not. It is awfully thin, but again, like I said, all it's doing is just lifting up this tiny little bit. So once I loosen that up, I'll have to clean all that, probably remove the pin on that. At this point, I've just been lubricating the inside and just hammering it back and forth to the point where I can move it backwards and forwards relatively freely. So I'm going to try and get it a little bit better than that. And I've just got to get rid of all these, punch them or drill them out. Same over here. Not sure what's happened there, but I'll clean that up too. And then I've got to do this. Okay, so quick update. Alright, I've been busy, hard at work on this. So I've got this to very easy play now, and I can move the whole lever. I've got to hold this up, otherwise it keeps falling down. I can move this pretty much all the way when it's bolted in correctly. It's just there for sure. But believe me, I can move that the whole way. I've also just, for the time being, put this back together so I can actually move it up and down now. We're going to use nice new brass, I can see, nice new brass screws for that. I'll cut those flush. But as this is going to be the inside, you're not going to see this. So that's going to be good there, like so. Now, we have a problem. This goes on there. This used to be a bolt, a rod that goes from there to there. And this is what controls this little arm. Now I need to find a way of doing this that can thread in and out, because there's supposed to be a spring here, and the spring helps push it down. Okay, if you're with me. My plan, first things first, I have to recut the thread in there when it focuses. When it focuses, there we go. So I've got to cut a thread in there. So I've got my little tap, so I'm going to tap that out. Next, I'm going to weld 2 of these little nuts, obviously much neater and tidier. But basically going to weld them on like that. So I've got my other thread. I could do it a number of different ways. I could cut that and all that, but I simply don't have enough thread for that. But what I do have, because that's going to lift it up a little bit, I'm actually going to continue this thread all the way down. I'm going to get rid of that using my die to continue the thread all the way through, and then I will hopefully have at the end of it this all the way down. I will have a connecting rod that I can screw in and out. So yeah, that is the plan. Okay, we have made more progress. Alright, so I've spent the last few hours making this up. Not my best weld, but I can at least clean all that up. But that's essentially two nuts just on top of there. I've taken a bolt, I've dyed a thread onto the end of that. I've tapped a matching thread in here, and I've just put a lock nut on it there so it's all sort of together. I am going to have to put some washers on there and put a spring in there just to make sure it sort of gets held down. But now it works. And again, that's all that's got to do, so I'm not too worried about that at this stage. There is also a pin that goes through here, but I have decided not to do that because it still looks really quite good from this side. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to turn that radio down before I get copyright struck. Dun, dun. Hopefully that wasn't enough. So yeah, going quite good actually. I'm quite happy with that. I do wish that bolt was slightly longer, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I suppose the next part to do would be, well, I suppose I'll clean that up. We're not going to worry about this. So this is for the handbrake cable, which goes from here, and it sort of like goes forward. We're really not going to worry about that. We're just going to have 2 independent handbrakes. I think that'll be quite enough. So yeah, I might see how difficult it is, but I might try and bend that out, but we're not going to worry about that too much. We'll clean this up. I'll give that another clean, although that's pretty good. And yeah, just gotta really clean the inside of this, especially this. This is probably the most important bit. So I gotta make sure that those inner surfaces, particularly the one down here, right at the bottom, we'll use a pointer. This surface, predominantly this surface here, and this surface here, they need to be spotless because that's where the bearings are going to sit. Everything else all in there, that's just free space. I'll still clean it up, but that's not being worn out or anything. I suppose that will be the next job, and I'll clean these ones up. So yeah, I suppose we're just going to be cleaning surfaces from here on out. That's the complicated doohickey gizmo stuff done on this side, minus the spring, but that'll come in time. Okay, more progress. So I have cleaned out the inside of this. Again, I didn't have to do the whole lot, but I decided to anyway. So all of that's just nice and clean. But the inside here is very nice, as is the bottom, because that's where the bearings go. One thing I am really happy about is these new bearings are sealed, which means I will not have to grease them up. Yay! Which is ironic because this is like the first grease nipple. Unlike any of these vehicles, it's actually like working and right there, but I'm never gonna have to use it, so oh well. You win some, you lose some. over here, the brakes. So, success. I was able to remove that. Problem is, on the other side, could not take that out. So, I had to do it the old-fashioned way and basically shove it in the vise, shove the wheels into the vise, and just lubricate it and just move it forward and backwards. So now these are free spinning. They only have to do like a quarter turn, but the easier they turn, the better. So that's nice. But yeah, this one, yeah, they're both sort of spinning pretty well. One spins better than the other. That one spins better than this one. And now I do it all again on the other one. I will still need springs. I do believe I could have this all together. I will probably still put it together because to my memory, in fact, we'll go and check this together. I'm pretty sure I can assemble it all and then put the springs on after the fact. The springs are accessible. I wouldn't call it easy. Well, that one's actually fairly easy to get to. That one, not so much. We'll see if I've got any springs now. If I can put that easy one on, the hard one on this end, I can do the easy one later when it's back on. Otherwise I'm going to have to go into town now just for springs, and I don't really want to do that. But if I have to, I suppose I will. But yeah, at the very least, this is all done. So yeah, the hub, the seals, they're all good. There are some dust seals in there, but I will not need those. Yeah, pretty good. Just got to do the other brake. Clean the inside of this drum properly. It's all pretty manky. Rough it all up. A bit of sandpaper. But yeah. Just little jobs. We're just gotta keep doing, I suppose. Okay, quick little interlude. Apparently there is an F-35 that's supposed to be doing a flyby, whatever, shortly. So we are waiting outside on the tractor. There's Peter's here too. But yeah, we're just waiting. The airport is generally in that direction, and it said the northern beaches, so it should be sort of flying that way and then landing. We're not sure, but we thought we might see it. So I don't know how much we're gonna see of it because there's a airliner just on the other. You can just see the tail of the airliner. So I don't know how much we're gonna see, but we could see the airliner. Ooh, trying to find my finger over there. So hopefully he'll be over there. Hopefully. Decided to move, so we're gonna go to our big tree out the back, and hopefully we can get a better view from there. We've got about 4 minutes. Once again, changed plans. We were gonna go to the tree, that tree, but they moved the table, so now we are moving into the other hangar workshop. Well, it's not quite, but there's a plane there. Ooh. Airliner there. There he is! There he is! I can see him! Oh, he's booking it. See if I can... Blimey, that was quick. There he is, just over the tops of the trees. Am I still like, yeah. It's hard to look and film at the same time, especially when it's so bright out. See, I get excited about other stuff besides tanks too. And he should come back around. I'll start filming when he comes back around because he's so far away. Well, I didn't promise the best. You can hear him in the background. Yeah, he must be landing now because that's where the airport is, and he did look, he had his landing lights on. Well, that was cool, I guess. Like, I never promised it was gonna be amazing. It's not even what this video is about. It just so happened to be today. So, with that, let's get back into the workshop. Well, that was a fun little viewing thing. Obviously it goes a lot faster than that, but still, it's the fastest thing in these skies. So that was really cool. Apparently it's taking off in like an hour and a half or something. If it's out, I'll film it. If not, well, you won't see it. But back to work. While I've been busy on this, Peter has been busy working on this big cable for the drum on the FAT. So I helped him with it. We installed the, you can see that, this big drum. Actually, I think he still has the plates. Yeah. There's the cable drum there. And it goes out through this one and then loops. Goes all the way back to the front. So that's what Peter's been up to. Meanwhile, back in Lottie land, yeah, so we got one done. I'm pretty sure I covered that before. I'm doing this one, so that's all clean. And we got some turning wheels now. This one's still a little stiff, so I'm working that one out. And then we'll get back onto the drum. Dokily. It's raining again. Where is it? I don't know if you can see the water running out there. The F-35 took off again, but because it went the other direction, we only heard it. So that's all you get as far as aircraft content today. More importantly, what have we been up to? Woohoo! So finished that, got a spring, and yeah, now the ratchet. That all works lovely. Happy about that. I'll probably just cut them off, and then that is pretty much done. I'm just trying to think. Yes, cleaned up the shaft, so that's nice and clean. I cleaned up this one. It's really good. We've got our brakes. They're all good to go. They're all free and loose. And they've got a nice groove polished in them. So that's both of them, and I've cleaned the dust off. So we are happy about that. That's all clean, that's all clean. This was absolutely chockers full of rust in there, so I actually used the needle gun to needle all that off. Now, this is absolutely not the quality that you want for brakes. However, this is purely a handbrake, so it's only going to hold the artillery gun when it's stationary. This will more than suffice. Obviously, if you were doing a proper braking system, this would be a case of do it again, basically. But yeah, look, we still got a nice round profile all the way, so we're very happy with all that. So yeah, that's basically going to be our brakes, so we can pretty much reassemble. And also I found some springs. We got springs. I think these are the compression springs. We got tension springs in there, so I just got to cut them to length and we can fit them. So yeah, looking good. And then I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna assemble the whole unit, slap it on there, put the wheel back on, and then do the other side. Woohoo! Okay, so we've just hammered the new bearings on. It's really nice. And then our little collar, more bearings. Next, this we had to put that on first. So there is an order. This one is gonna go over the top. But I am probably gonna. The tolerances on this is tight, really tight. So I'm actually gonna linish this even more just to make sure we get a nice clean entry. Okay, I've just put a small film of assembly lube on it, and now we're gonna put it on. Bam, there we go. It helps actually if you have a second person. So basically Peter just kept hammering it and I just spun it down there and we got it done in like, I don't know, 20 seconds. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, now I've tapped it around, so this is now in line. So I put the little screw bolt thing in back there, put a split pin through it, and that is our hub complete. Obviously I got to put the other bit on top, wherever that is. Put it somewhere over here. So yeah, I'll put some lubrication on it, but yeah, that's essentially how it goes, like so. And then we got the hub done. Yay! Happy about that. Okie dokie. So, future Lottie here, obviously, out of my work clothes. I forgot to film an outro to the video, so now you get me. It's raining because it is wet season here in Queensland. So yeah, this is a typical wet Queensland summer. Yay, we love it. I really love it. Nothing sounds better than rain on a tin roof. Love the sound. That's why I'm sitting out here. Anyway, so to round off the video, if you can hear me while I'm screaming over the rain, yeah, so that was pretty much the last thing that we did on the hub. So that'll leave everything to Monday to film. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a lovely little comment down below, and I will try to keep pumping these out. So yeah, bye!